Okay, we are live. We have people already. If I check for them. Hello everyone. Just checking if we are already live, which we should be. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Hello everyone. Sorry for the delay. We had some emergency here at office. But yeah, thank you for everyone who has joined the call today and anyone who's gonna watch it later. Uh, Today's agenda is very specific that we want to talk about everything about franchisee staking, take all the doubts that anyone have for a very reason that the franchisee staking is going live on Monday. So want to be very clear about that we all have a clear understanding of what franchisee staking is about, different level of staking that is allowed. So I'll just try to give a brief of what we are trying to do with the franchisee staking for Bangalore. First of all, Bangalore is a very unique franchisee because it is being run by us. So all the rules that we have for any franchisee doesn't apply to Bangalore, and that's why franchisee staking for Bangalore is also very unique, where all the staking will be done by community, and community staking defines the first franchise setup that we are trying to do, which eventually opens up the city DAO for Bangalore as a city. Now, this is a 150 million TRF pool that we are setting up. The whole tenure for any franchisee is a 3-year tenure, which remains the same for Bangalore as well. So everybody who's gonna stake for Bangalore franchisee gets locked for 3 years. Now we do have limit in terms of how much you can unstake at different point, which is basically divided over a tenure of 3 years, wherein a percentage of your holding is something that you can unstake after the 6 month unlock, 6 month of lock that we will have initially. We do have different level of staking. The first level of staking will open only for community members who are council members. So if you are a council member, the first 24 hour of staking will be open only for those who have council NFT. Now it's very important that we will be because our DRF token is on BSC. It's a BP20 token, but our NFTs were issued on Polygon. So we will be asking everyone for who holds NFT to share with us their BEP20 address, because we're gonna whitelist those addresses for the first level of staking. At During that first 24 hours of staking, 75 million of DRX staking will be open. That is half of the pool, where only NFT holders will be able to stake. There's a minimum and a maximum to what a NFT holder can stake. Let me just check it again. I guess if I'm not wrong, it's a 10 million. That's a maximum of DRF that you can stake, and minimum is 1 million DRF. Let me just check. I forgot the real number, but yeah, there's a maximum and a minimum limit. First 24 hours, it will be open only for people who will be part of who are the NFT holders. So make sure, I guess, our community member will be opening this form where they'll be asking you for your address, which is a BP20 address, and they also have to mention how many NFTs that they hold. So we're gonna whitelist. So there's only one person who holds two. Yeah, two people. Two people. Yeah, we know them. But yeah, so we're gonna ask that, and you have to mention your addresses and number of NFT that you hold. Shreya, just to be clear, I'll tell you once again. So it's a 150 million DRF pool where NFT holders can stake up to 75 million, which is 50% of the pool. Minimum staking that you have to do is half a million DRF, and maximum per wallet per NFT allowed is 10 million. So this is for the first 24 hours. That means general staking will open on 23rd of May, where again, the minimum stake is 100k DRF, and maximum one can stake is 5 million DRF. Now again, it will be open for 1 month. Tenure is 30 days where we are opening the staking, but again depend upon how soon we are able to close the staking period. We'll be able to fill in the pool. So that's about who can stake at what point and how much you can stake. Make sure you all are ready with your NFTs before it open, be it for people who are part of the council or general staking. We have seen this in our previous stakings that the pool gets filled really quickly. So as soon as the general staking open, I would suggest you guys to be there and be able to stake and then not complain that we were not able to be a part of that pool. Now talking about another stuff which is related to this whole staking, all the tokens. So because it starts on 22nd May, even if we are able to close the pool like next day, I guess the staking still stays open, and the dates for quarterly rewards to be added starts from 22nd of June. So from 22nd of June to 22nd of September, 22nd of September. That will be the first quarter, and after that, the first quarterly rewards will be added. Uh, the unstaking will open only after 6 months of this pool being in existence. Now comes the question about how much as a reward will be added. So, as we said, 2.5% of the revenue generated from our operation in Bangalore is something that will be contributed by Bangalore franchisee for distribution. So, to say if we generate $100,000 in a quarter, 2.5% becomes $2,500. That's the money that we give for distribution. Now that's up to council to either distribute all of it or use certain amounts to even burn DRF, because burning is something that we have added to this pool as well, where any penalty on unstaking gets burned, but also council can actually, if we actually generate a lot of revenue, we can actually decide to burn a percentage of it and then distribute rest of it to the community. So that's how revenue will be generated and will be given for distribution from the real operation. But at the end, it's a community voting which decides how much is the APY that needs to be distributed with a benchmark of the revenue that we are willing to share. Another thing, I guess, about this is what else we have about staking. Did we cover everything? Unstaking, I've spoken about percentage revenue share.
Premature staking penalties.
Penalties, we have spoken about 10% unstaking penalty, and the tokens will be burned. Any penalty that is being taken from you when you unstake your DRF, the penalty DRF will be used for burning DRF.
The amount you can unstake at any given time is proportional to the
tenure and is divided equally over the tenure. So after 6 months, the first time you will be able to unstake is 15%, and then every week gets added to how many weeks are there? 52 into 3? 180 something.
156.
156 weeks, yeah. So we do have, if you actually look into the blog that we did for franchisee staking, we have two calculations in place. One is APY calculator for you to calculate how much APY I'll be getting in terms of DRF. Based on add different numbers to it. We also have a calculation for unstaking, how much you'll be able to unstake at different point. So those are the things that already mentioned in that blog. If after reading that blog also, if you have any question, you can always come back to our Telegram chat and ask us this question. Apart from that, how we will be actually making sure that we are sharing the details of the rights and revenue that has been generated. So as soon as you will be staking and the staking period is closed, the dashboard will start getting updated for all the wallet holders who have staked. So they'll be able to get access to the right data and the revenue data for them to have a update on where do we stand with the operation. For now, because we'll be putting the data ourselves, eventually the ideas will be able to fetch it from blockchain. So that's what we wanna do to start with, where the dashboard will be updated as soon as the staking period is over, and everybody who has staked for this franchisee will be able to see information about rides and other details of that whole Bangalore franchisee. So that's how you will know information. And eventually, the idea is everybody who has staked will form a city DAO, which is Bangalore franchisee DAO. So that's pretty much from my side on an overview of the franchisee staking. I'll let Mudit tell you more on the technical side of requirements and other stuff that we need to have in place before the staking goes live.
I don't know if there's any technical requirement per se, it's mostly the whitelisting. So we have designed the contracts in such a way that it can account for your NFT balance and check that to verify that you are eligible for priority staking, and can also verify your limits based on the number of council NFTs you hold. But as of now, that's been turned off because as Firdosh mentioned, the council NFTs live on Polygon network, whereas the token staking is going to happen on BSC. Of course, eventually there will be a way for the NFTs and the council NFTs and the tokens to be on the same environment, and therefore that code will kick in. But as of now, we've turned that off, so the whitelisting will be manual. We will ask our community moderators, be Dario and folks, to get in touch and get the addresses whitelisted. Yeah, apart from that, we are in process of testing, and we thoroughly tested the contracts. We are going through an audit as well as now, and yeah, hopefully you guys will see a better UI for the dashboard, and we revamped the UI, the entire experience, and a lot of nitty-gritties inside the contract. So yeah.
Also, franchising is very different from
what
traditional staking as well.
So we've had to scratch our heads quite a bit to come up with the right way of implementing the contract. So yeah.
Cool. I guess now we can take up the questions. We had some questions from
so
the community.
Read the questions and
Staking exclusive. This is the staking exclusive.
Yeah, this is staking because we have staking going live on Monday.
First question, franchisee EMA. When and what type of data, revenue, total rights, drivers, etc. are we going to have to make the staking decision? How will we view this?
So as I mentioned, everybody who will be staking their DRF for Bangalore franchisee will get exclusive access to a dashboard where they will see all the information that we will be sharing in a more open format. Obviously, it will take into consideration rides happening, number of drivers who are online, and more of a dashboard that we share with an investor. At the end of the day, these are the investors who are investing into a city operation. So they will have access to ride data, driver data, revenue data. So all of that will be put together for you to be able to see how much you're gonna make for yourself.
But I think the question is, what type of data are we going to have to make the staking decision? As of now,
I guess there's a quarterly report that we presented. That's what we can share generally with everyone. That where do we stand operationally for you to make decision for yourself. That do I want to stake for Bangalore franchisee or not? There is all the reports are already there out for you to go through it and make your decision. I guess we do quarterly report for last 4 quarters. All the data is already out there for you to make that decision.
Yeah. Once staking is closed, is there any chance to get into the pool? What if we unstake? Can we get back in? No. So if the staking period gets over, there's nowhere to get back in. Even if you were in and then you got out, so you cannot get in back. Has the team decided on whether to alter the progressive unstaking mechanism? As many people feel that the current progressive unstaking mechanism limits how much you can unstake at any time is very harsh.
I guess this is the best we can come up with, because if you will see other franchisee when they go live, there will be no unstaking allowed, because then you are part of a city operation and you get locked for the tenure the franchisee is going live. So 3-year tenure is a tenure for which we give out the franchisee. So everybody who participate in that franchisee has to be committed for 3 years. we were able to do this where we are allowing unstaking for Bangalore specifically because it's a franchisee run by us. So for that very reason, we are able to allow you to unstake because it's similar to a security deposit. To nobody gives you a security deposit back to you every now and then to you be able to still have access to something but not being committed to. At the end of that is a revenue that's been shared and requires a certain level of commitment, for which we have also added unstaking. So this is the best we can do actually.
Yeah. When is the first payment projected? September?
September.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So September 22nd. I mean, from I think
From
15 days, 1 month,
15
or so,
yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
From that point. Any update on the next franchisee city?
Not yet that we can speak about.
Disclose.
Yeah, not yet that we can disclose.
Can you talk more about perpetual staking and when you would expect that to go live? How is the APY going to be determined?
So perpetual staking, first of all, the idea of perpetual staking came for a very basic reason that different cities might have different pool sizes and not everyone who holds DRF might be able to be a part of it. And also because city stakings are little harsh in terms of once you get logged you cannot get out of it except Bangalore as a franchisee. So that's the reason we decided to come up with a perpetual staking, which will be a open pool where everybody can stake and unstake at different point, where Drive as a foundation will be contributing a percentage of its revenue from operation across all the cities that Drive is operating to give APYs to the community who's taking for that perpetual staking. Now after this pool goes live, the idea is to have another city go live, and then we go ahead and do a perpetual staking. So there is a lot of time for it to go live, and a lot of efforts and brainstorming is still required to design the whole pool because it's not a very basic pool. It will be very different pool than any other pool.
Correct, and therefore the APY is going to be determined at a later stage.
Exactly.
Can you confirm what percentage of the next franchisee setup fee will go to NFT holders? Last was mentioned was 20%.
I guess it remains the same with the NFT holders and the betting and everything that is involved. It remains the same as of now. There's no change into how we're gonna work around it. And again, once we start that process, you'll have more information once the franchisee it opens up for betting and other setups that has been done.
Yeah. Is it possible to do monthly rewards distribution versus quarterly for the franchisee? So, I mean, it's possible, yes, but we don't think we would probably take that approach because every month to figure out how much revenue has been generated and how much is going to be shared will become hard because it's first of all it's not a simple percentage. There is a community voting that is required, which in itself is a
correct. The time and effort you're gonna spend every month to do that, like say 10 days or to come to a conclusion like okay this is what's gonna happen. You're gonna spend every month 7 to 10 days doing that. So we want to do collectively for 1 quarter each. So we're not using a lot of time and effort for people who are involved in this
correct.
process.
That and the second thing is a month is too short for any tangible revenue generation or any tangible output to come out of the operations. So we having run operations for a while, I think it's fair that we fairly seen that 3 months is a reasonable time to see a change or to see any revenue being generated sizable. So okay, so I think that's one set of questions. There are some other questions that we have. To acquire the FNFT, the franchisee is required to stake a specified. So this is from the white paper. How is this enforced now? So as of now, we don't have the FNFT in place because this is our own franchise that we are doing for the community. But for the next franchisee, for the next city franchisees that you will see this FNFT coming in picture and being enforced. The amount of DRF tokens to be staked is calculated individually for each city and region. Staking in this case is similar to a security deposit or locking up your valuables in a safety deposit box. is this the same as fiat, the security pay 2 times?
So what we have actually done is, divided the security deposit in two parts. One is a fiat and one is in DRF. So the DRF staking is when the part of security deposit is used to buy DRF by the franchisee and lock it for a tenure of 3 years, and rest half is in fiat. So obviously it's similar to security deposit when we are dividing the whole of the security deposit into two parts. And this was done for a very basic reason that a lot of people who might come in to buy in franchising might not understand the whole concept of staking, but making them understand the concept of security deposit is fairly easy. So yeah.
In addition to the referral program, Drive also offers users the opportunity to stake to earn DRF tokens for various activities on the platform. These activities include completing rides, providing feedback, participating in promotions. For each segment, where do the DRF rewards come from?
So DRF to be earned in addition to referral comes from the ecosystem. We have 30% of DRF as a part of the ecosystem, which will be used to distribute DRF for any other loyalty based activity in the platform.
Drive's model offers a unique dynamic pricing mechanism that is based on an auction model. This allows market forces to determine the prices for each ride rather than a fixed pricing system that is imposed by the platform. On a per city or country level, is it possible to pre-calculate a recommended fare fee for users? So we don't have.
No, I think most importantly, we take the city or country specific
Tariff rates.
tariff rate, and based on that, it will be pre-calculated.
So the base fare is always being calculated by the system, where we tell you this is a minimum that you should be paying for a ride, and on top of that, rider can always add a boost or driver can give discount or premium. But a base has been set up looking into the compliance and regulations.
So I think there are two aspects to this. The question reads, calculates a recommended fare for the users.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you actually mean recommended, then as of now we don't have that in place. What we have is a base fare. We could in future also have some AI powered mechanism by which we can tell you that what is the recommended boost that you could apply to get a ride, right? And that would be the recommended fare that we could have. But as of now, we do not have that. As of now, as Surya mentioned, we have a base fare calculation mechanism which uses the government or the RTO specified tariffs and multipliers for fares. When a new user signs up for Drive using a referral code provided by an existing user, both the referring driver and rider will receive DRF tokens as a reward. Every time a referred user takes a ride on the DRF platform, on the Drive platform, the referrer earns 1% of the fare as passive income in the form of DRF tokens. Where is this taken from?
It's taken from the 1% of the fare. No, it's not taken from ecosystem. So basically, if it's a $10 ride and $2 has to be $2.
$2, yeah.
Sorry.
20 cents.
20 cents. So like $100 ride, $2 has to be distributed. So this $2 come from that $100 actually. So it's not. So it's a DRF that it's a real money that gets accumulated to buy Drive from open market
and send for the
send for the referral. So it comes from the circulating supply, not from the supply of Drive that stays into different allocation that we have.
Key smart contracts, ride contract, fare contract, utility token contract. Who pays for gas fees? Most rides are paid in fiat. So as of now, the contracts are paid for by the system itself. We've also explored using meta transactions or gasless transactions, which make the gas fee zero. They're paid for by the administrative contracts, and the money that is spent for gas is adjusted from the subscription fares, subscription fee that we have. But we are also working on a way to have a new way of doing transactions, wherein the transactions can be free from by default. So that is something that we are also working on at the moment. How long will it take for Drive team to establish DRF token integration and utility into real world settings?
So the first thing that we're doing is the franchisee staking. The second thing that we have spoken about is the referral money being generated in DRF token for both driver and rider, and that's the next thing that will pick up after franchisee staking goes live. So these are the two important utility of DRF. One is staking, another is DRF in the Drive application. So once we
and possibly once you enter into a crypto-friendly country,
payments in DRF, that's the third thing that we'll be able to do. But the second thing, yes, is referral money being generated in DRF. That's the next thing that we will pick up after franchise.
We've already started looking at partners
Yes.
that we could hook up with regards to the wallet integration and storing the keys and doing the conversion of fiat to DRF. So we have started looking at these for partners and figuring out a way for that. So that's all from the community in terms of the questions that we have. Now,
the questions we have here. 3 minutes late already. Hey friends, hello Drive. I love the painting behind you. Thank you.
so these are
the two
paintings done by Firdosh. They are supposed to be
together.
And
but yeah, because of the wall, we have to put them both on the other sides. But thank you, Dario. 500 million blue car. The downloads of Driver app is lower than Drive app. So what are the steps taken to bridge the gap? I guess supply is always lesser than the demand. But yeah, the number of drivers in itself present in Bangalore is quite lesser, and obviously for very different reasons. But yeah, we are trying to get more and more drivers in the platform. But yeah, there will be always, I guess, 1:10.
it's more than that.
More than 1:10
there are
as a
almost
gap.
like 50,000-60,000 drivers in Bangalore, cab drivers, and we have population touching 2 CR.
20 million?
Yeah.
20 million is the population.
More or less. So.
Yeah. Is 2.5% from gross or net profit? It is gross revenue. Revenue is revenue. Anything that has been generated from the revenue that we collect from drivers is the revenue, not gross or net profit. How can we have an idea of the amount of subscription this month? I guess we did release in the last report about number of drivers who actually paid subscription, but I guess we are still not yet towards the end of the month to tell you the subscription amount. But we did have like more than 4,000 drivers who have paid subscription in the month of April. So 4,600 some drivers. Any plans to enter stock market? No plans. Is the company on the positive side of revenue? Positive side of revenue means you are post-revenue company, which means you are generating revenue. Yes, we are generating revenue. Driver pays a subscription fees. Can we have an update on how many rides Drive is doing per week? We do get more than 2,000, 2,500 ride requests on a daily basis, and depends upon different days that how many successful rides we do. But on average, 1,000 plus rides is what we are doing. Is our individual percentage of franchisee pool against 150 million DRF or against the amount in the pool if it is less than 150 million? I don't understand.
If our individual percentage of the franchisee pool against the 150 million DRF, against the amount, it is against the amount that is in the pool if it is less than 150 million.
Yeah, so the on the day the staking close, number of DRF,
yes, that becomes the denominator for all the calculations.
Yeah. The perpetual staking seems more flexible. What are the advantages for someone who stakes in a specific city?
Higher APY. The perpetual staking is not going to give you even like close to that. So
exactly. So any specific city franchisee staking gives you access to specific city data, makes you part of that city data. So there are a lot of advantages and privileges that you open for yourself when you become a part of staking. So it opens a lot of different doors. To start with a DAO participation for that specific city. So yeah, that's why you should be staking for franchisee.
Why don't Drive gets into more activity other than ride hailing, especially for cab to airport or railway station, for example, like providing
straight check-in. I guess we want to focus on what we are doing at this point and not explore so much in different direction. This is what we want to do now. Bangalore operational costs are not as the same as the overall enterprise cost. Will enterprise cost be deducted from I said because we said it is not the profits that we will be distributing; it's the revenue. So we do understand the cost that we incur is for Drive as a whole, not just for Bangalore. So it's a revenue that we share, not the profit. So it won't impact you. Come to consider. Establishing DRF token integration and utility into real world setting is important. It can be a key product differentiator versus startup, plus it will attract modern working class. Yes, we are working on it.
And also I just want to say this is the sole reason for this company to exist also. So literally we want to enter into a place where it is crypto friendly, and this could be the first thing which we want to integrate.
For security deposit for franchisee, what is the percentage split for fiat versus DRF token? It's 50% that we have established. Is entering to outstation cap if there is a franchisee in Andhra Pradesh and the ride goes from Bangalore, then the amount will go to which franchisee? It's a debate we had. Who gets the money if the driver belongs to another city, rider belongs to. I don't know. We had this conversation even like last week to determine. It's still a question that for which we are looking for an answer. We do have certain things in our head which obviously becomes part of franchisee agreement also, because we do understand this is a question that different franchisee will say the revenue belongs to me. So we're working on it, but not yet a concrete answer.
We have split decision on this always.
Yeah, we have different opinions internally as well. Is NFT owner will benefit from all like global scale future franchisee? NFT owner do sit at a very advantageous situation as compared to anyone else, be it priority in staking is one of the most important feature of holding NFT. So yes, they do play an important role also when it comes to distribution of how rewards are distributed and how the calculations are done. So they do sit at an advantageous position. We still have a lot of NFTs that we have not sold. Maybe we'll open it soon.
Is there any concern about DRF being considered a security in India?
No, we are taking all the measures into consideration of how DRF gets integrated into the platform. There are other companies that we know who are doing rewards and paying rewards in cryptocurrency. So, looking at those things, are taking care of the compliance. No, we are not considered as security. I'm losing my questions. When we advertise to get drivers, the white paper says that driver get 100% of the fare. What if the driver does not want to pay for referral fee? It's a by default feature that we have where everybody has to, we say that, driver gets up to 100%, because if I am losing 2% of my earning because somebody else referred someone who took the ride, I can make up for that 2% by referring more people. So the bigger the network you have, the more passive source of income you have, and you'll be able to compensate for what you have lost. Who is the biggest VC that is backing the company? Good question. We never had a big VC backing us. We had small crypto investors who were big crypto investors back then in 2021. Who invested in Drive. There's still a few of them who are still holding all their DRFs. So we do have few set of investors who believed in us, who are still are holding DRF tokens. So, but there's no big VC name that we had in past. Are you giving any internship in Drive Bangalore? Yes, we are. You can reach out to our HR if you are looking for an internship. Any idea for Drive to move into bike taxi segment? We did plan for it, but I guess we have taken steps back for Drive bike taxis for regulatory reasons.
In Bangalore.
In Bangalore, yeah. So there's a lot of concern around regulation, compliance, safety. My primary reason was safety. My primary reason was safety. When it comes to bike taxi, first of all, they are not insured and they're not commercial vehicle. There is no regulation around bike taxis. There's a lot of fight between auto drivers and bike taxi as a concept. So that's why we thought of not doing it till the time there are proper regulations in place.
I think the next one is very
I would like a QR code so I can start referring people. I have friends in Bangalore. That's a question a lot of my friends have also asked, that we have friends, but we cannot download Drive app because we are in the different part of the world. We have country restriction, but I want a referral code. So Mudit, do we have any plans to do something and open up Drive application for
It's not the
others?
application, only the referral.
Only the
we've
referral
thought
code.
about it, and there is so we have. I mean, internally in the tech team discussed that we can have a simple dashboard where you can just sign up, register without going through the application and generate a QR code, like how we have for the agents and promoters. That's something
Maybe that's a good idea of everybody who stake for Bangalore, because you're gonna contribute to growth of it to make more money out of it. We can generate QR code for
So
everyone.
we are working on that, and hopefully you should have a dashboard very soon where you can just sign up and get your referral code, even if you're not using the app in your city or in your country.
But we can do exclusively for people who stake DRF for Bangalore to start with at
You
least.
can do that.
If the driver paid subscription fees and if we get very less ride, will it be refunded? As of now, we only have daily subscription and plan, which means only for the rides that driver does in the platform, they pay the subscription fees. Monthly subscription is something that we have not implemented for different reasons that we have. But as of now, this is not a feature which will require us to refund any money. Thank you so much for making sure company is moving to the correct direction. You all are awesome. Thank you. How can we contact HR for internship and email IDs? I guess
HR@drife.io.
That's your mail ID. Please send your resume. I noticed that some countries, even Tada, had to resort to introducing platform fees. Will Drive be able to accommodate this change? It could be country specific. We have a platform. Our subscription fees is our platform fees. So yeah, platform fees is what we charge. How many rides a driver make in Bangalore in a day? Look, you can actually not comment on it because a driver is active on different platforms. So also depends upon how many hours a driver is active, is making different number of rides. But on an average, a driver who stays online for 10 to 12 hours is doing anywhere.
Can get minimum. We can assure at least 4 to 5 rides.
No, generally, I guess it's a 12 to 15 rides a driver does.
Also depends on whether or not he gets an airport ride.
Correct. If he does an airport ride, then he does
It's
3
like-
rides and he goes home.
Yeah, that's it.
If he gets an airport ride, it's like he's doing some 3.
But that's only
actual
for
rides.
Bangalore specifically, because airport rides are the most valued ride in Bangalore. Okay, I guess this is it. No other questions. You wanna check our Telegram also if you have any questions there. No. So yeah, guys, this is it from our side. We will be waiting for you guys to come and stake your DRF for our first franchisee staking. That is a very important utility of Drive token, and for Drive as a community to bring this utility. So we'll really want all of you to stake your DRF and be the part of this. It's also to show the support for the whole community of what we are building at Drive, and stake your DRF. It's beyond just taking and getting APYs is what I can say today of what you can achieve, and how you can participate and be a part of the whole city governance that way you will open up for yourself once you're part of the franchisee staking.
I have a quick announcement. Apart from the fact that our community managers will reach out for your addresses, your whitelisting, we are also intending to do a small pilot test for the franchisee staking. For anyone who's interested, it's going to be a closed group testing, because it's the first time that we are rolling out a franchisee staking dashboard and a franchisee staking process. So anyone who's interested can also reach out. We have a community testing group that's already set up. Our community managers can share those links as well. So yeah, expect to hear from our community moderators and hopefully get in touch, submit your name so that you can also become a part of the closed loop testing.
How many years before? We have a few more questions.
Okay, how many years before second franchisee? Years.
Years. Hopefully this year. How long will the reward set aside for the ecosystem last us? 5 years. Do we need to consider restructuring incentive rewards? How long will the rewards set aside from the ecosystem last us? So it depends upon the value of DRF and also the kind of distribution that we allocate to different cities also. So
and for different use cases.
Use cases, exactly.
Yeah.
So let's see how long I don't think so. We need to restructure it yet because that's the biggest pool allocation that we have in the whole DRF ecosystem, and we can see how we go ahead with that. I want to
budget for
staking in future franchisee. How many might be there in 3 years? 3 years is a long time, and I guess many. If everything goes, really good, we do have plans to roll out quickly after we do one or two franchisee, because that way we also will be able to learn. But once we are done with 3 franchisees going live, then we get quicker in terms of expanding because of our own learning.
Yeah, it's probably going to be like an exponential, slow in the start, but exponentially
Exactly.
fast thereon. What percentage of total drivers in Bangalore use Drife? Okay, so I now see questions gradually drifting away from franchisee,
yes.
but I think still we can take that. Surya, do you want to take that one? What percentage of total drivers in Bangalore use Drife?
Okay, pre-pandemic we had 80,000 plus to 1 lakh drivers, and post-pandemic we have almost some 40 to 50,000 drivers. But instead of saying how many are using Drife, I just want to tell how many we have onboarded. We have onboarded almost
60 plus.
Yeah, 60 to 20,000, which comes around 45-50% of drivers who are active drivers in Bangalore. And usage, the number is always shaking. Maybe 30 to 40, 50, 60% of that number which we have onboarded. Yeah.
Do new pools open after 3 years expired? So either the pool gets renewed. So again, and that's a decision that we have to work on. That how does the franchisee staking take place once a 3-year tenure is over?
The way we have designed it now is the contract finishes, wraps up, and there's a new contract.
That's a new contract, which will be deployed depending upon the same franchisee guy renews his contract, and then maybe on similar terms you restart it. Also, those are very critical to how operation works and how we're gonna renew. It's not gonna get renewed. It's always like a new pool that will open for that specific city with new terms.
All right, that's it then. Thank you everyone for joining.
Thank you everyone. If you have any other questions regarding franchisee staking, do write on the Telegram chat, and we have our moderators and us to help you with any questions. So 22nd we go live with franchisee staking. The first 24 hours is for the NFT holders. We do wanted to tell that we're gonna claim our own tokens and also stake. Do you wanna tell that?
So we are also going to be staking as a part of the entire franchise staking.
Yeah, not only us, I guess, you guys also remember that we did a distribution of DRF token for our team, and when the team got to know that we're doing a franchisee staking, they all said like we want to also stake our DRF. So we as co-founders and Drife team also are gonna contribute to the franchisee staking. Because the very first franchisee, we also want to give our bit to contribute and do our own staking.
So there's a lot of excitement that we have out here for the franchisee, at least internally. So I hope that the same goes for you guys well, and we hope to see how that goes.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Bye.